Hi, my name is Ben Distelmeyer, and this presentation is for oral interpersonal communications. A world without hate, without crime, and without violence is a vision that is lacked in the eyes of a gang member. The views on gang culture almost seems fictional in rural areas. However, the reality of gangs and the behavior presented by members is a non-fictional facet that society has to acknowledge. The violence, homicide, substance abuse, and other criminal acts are features of gangs that citizens and the general public need to be conscious of in order to provide safety for you as well as your friends and family members. Being informed of why individuals join gangs, how to talk to people whom you love out of joining a gang, dangers that a gang may pose, and recognizing symbols of possible gangs being present in your area are all aspects of gang culture that may be important to know to provide well-being for your loved ones. I have attached a PowerPoint to this presentation, or I'm sending it via email, and the first thing that I'm going to define is the term gang. Gang is defined by a group of individuals with either a common interest or goal. There's usually more than 3 people, and they usually have a common name or identifying signs such as colors or symbols. Gangs are a culture and society that are located throughout the United States as well as across the world. There are large national gangs and small local gangs. There is a large spectrum in sizes and they vary depending on the gang. There are several reasons people may join a gang. The ability to earn money due to poverty is one popular reason for gang involvement. By committing thefts, dealing drugs, gang members can make relatively large amounts of money, which can help them purchase items that may up their status in society. To create an identity for themselves is another reason they may join a gang. Gangs present a group identity to which an individual may be a part of. People who lived in poverty often see no chance of ever getting a decent job, leaving their poor neighborhood, or getting an education. Due to lack of support structure at home, a neighborhood gang seems like the only real life and family they'll ever have. Gangs provide reason to a person's life, such as giving an individual the sense that they can be counted on or reliable. A gang gives a person a sense of belonging and being part of something important that they can not get otherwise from their family. They provide support, structure, and values and give their members feelings of belonging, identity, power, security, and even love. Some people join gangs for excitement. They have boredom in their lives, and it's possible that the gangs will give them more exciting life, and they may like mischief to entertain themselves. Another reason for joining a gang may be peer pressure. Individuals may be pressured by peers that are associated with gangs. Young individuals may be vulnerable to peer pressure, and if the town or city is gang dominated, they may feel like they need to join a gang because they don't want to lose their friends who are also joining gangs. In order to join a gang, an individual usually has to go through an initiation process which can consist of several different possibilities. In the PowerPoint, I wrote down several initiation processes, and I'm going to explain them more thoroughly now. A beat-in is having to fight a certain number of gang members. In some cases, they are put in a circle and they are beaten upon for a given amount of time, and once the time is up, they're in the gang. Females joining male-dominant gangs may be sexed in. The females may have to provide sexual acts to one or more of the gang members. Jacked-in refers to committing a theft or larceny in order to get into the gang. Sometimes they require drive-by shooting, where they need to commit a drive-by shooting. Another way to get into the gang is sometimes Russian roulette. You have to play Russian roulette and win. This requires putting a bullet in a gun chamber, spinning the revolver, and hoping that that bullet does not go off and kill you. Another initiation process is the blood in, blood out. The blood in is committing a murder to join the gang. A blood out is committing a murder to leave the gang. Some individuals are courted in. This isn't really an initiation process, but courted in is being invited into the gang. Sometimes doctors or lawyers are invited into the gang for their expertise, and sometimes they join. After joining a gang, a code of honor may be in place. Members must live by the gang's code of honor, which may be not disrespecting other members of the same gang. Outcomes that are aware of only members of that gang may happen if the code is not followed, such as death. There are a lot of problems that are associated with gangs, such as robbery, theft, drug sales, grand theft auto, assault, fraud, drug trafficking, murder, identity theft, weapon trafficking, and many others. Injuries are also predominant in gangs. Gang fights can lead to serious injuries and even to death, and sometimes families of gang members can often become targets in gang wars. Drug and alcohol abuse is also seen sometimes. Reasons for these crimes to be committed may be because conflicts between gangs, the need for money, or factors related to drugs, drug trafficking, weapon trafficking. Also, initiation is another reason that the crime may be committed. Some gang members sell drugs to young children in order to get them addicted, so they buy more drugs. Control is also a reason for the crime. They control land or turf through violent acts to scare people away due to containing land. Criminal gangs commit as much as 80% of crime in many communities, according to law enforcement officials throughout the nation. That is a lot of crime that's committed through gangs, which is why we need to hold and halt the gang growth. Gangs are very unique in the communication, where it is an important aspect of this culture. They communicate through language, clothing, graffiti, tattoos, hand signals, colors, and symbols. Graffiti may be used to convey messages to other gangs. It may show territory or brag about crimes that were done or future crimes that may happen. It may also be a way to disrespect other gangs, which can often end up in gang wars. Clothing is an important aspect of nonverbal communication. Gang members reinforce their sense of gang membership by adopting a style of dress. Most members are proud of their gang and therefore openly display signs of membership. This is also the case with tattoos, where they represent their gang or beliefs the gang has. The different symbols a gang has may support their loyalty for one another. One thing that we need to do as a community is recognize individuals who may have gang relationships and try to convey them to turn the path and sway away from gangs. A variety of ways that we can recognize individuals may be if they are having unexplained physical injuries, having more cash than they should be, and maybe more valuables than seems normal. They may be showing particular interest in gang activities. If they are beginning to raise police interest or withdrawing from family, school, or activities. If they begin breaking curfew and other rules, this may be a way to recognize individuals who are beginning to get involved in gangs. They may be more secretive or exhibit decline of school performance, rejection of family, possible drug abuse. It's often, too, that they will change their friends and their dress if they're starting to get involved in gangs. Sometimes they get argumentative or desire too much privacy and develop rebellious attitudes. A way that parents can be aware of the changes in their children and ways to help the children sway away from gang relationships can be things such as spending sufficient time with their children. You can convince them that they are important parts of your life and that they matter, kind of to get them away from the gang aspect of family. The children can be accepted of their friends. The parents can insist on meeting the children's friends just to make sure that the friends are not gang related. It's good to know where your child is going and with whom and when you think they may arrive home so they don't break curfew. It's important to set rules and enforce them. Don't allow the children to make the rules. If you don't have sufficient rules, they may turn to a gang who will have rules for them. It's also a positive thing to encourage out-of-school interest to make the child less bored and make them feel like they are part of a group. We need to talk to our children about gangs, the recruitment tactics, and their activities. Now, although many individuals may never encounter gang-related activity or maybe not have and just don't know it, learning information on inner aspect of gang can help recognize clues to whether they are evident in the community. The ability to notice the changes in the individuals and environment around you can help keep the neighborhood a safer place to live. We all want to live in a safe place, and not being involved in gang relations is a way to do this. This can be done through several means such as the police. Gangs can create many problems in society through violence, murder, and drug abuse, and if possible, through the information that was provided, we can intervene the gang growth before it is too large to handle. Parents can become a positive role model to their children by teaching them the ways of gang relations.